Captain Sig? Hi, how are you? I'm good. This is Shane. I'm going to put you on speakerphone, make it a little easier. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So as soon as my photographer's ready to go, we'll get started here.
Can you have him just say something a little more?
Can you talk and just say something?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, we're good to go. First of all, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Couple questions I have. Just getting into what the Captain's Tour is all about. I know you're coming here in, I guess, about 2.5 weeks. Just tell us a little how that came about and what you guys are going to be doing with it.
Well, we're going to be at the Pikes Peak Center on Friday, July 22nd. And it kind of came about really through the fans. You know, people are always asking, and they want to know more. And so, you know, we've done a few speaking engagements and things of that nature. And we thought, well, what the hell? Let's just take it to the road and see if it'll fly, you know. And we have fun with it. And so as long as we're having fun, we'll keep doing it. There's basically, you know, it's a question and answer, and they get to see a lot of videos that's never before seen. That's our own. And then we'll go through a lot of slides and just kind of see it's more personal side of you know, the captains and what we're all about. And we do a little competition with survival suits. That's kind of fun for the fans and see if they can get into those in a minute or less. And Andy Hillstrand actually wrote a couple of songs, you know, for Phil, who passed away here, and so he'll play those, and people just have a good time. They always leave with a smile.
And then you have a special meet and greet for some of the fans as well. What's that all about? Yeah,
we do have a meet and greet. We've done anywhere from, you know, 150 to 450, and
wow.
And it's real flattering, just because the people that are really fans of Deadliest Catch just it seems like they just can't get enough, you know. And we never thought it would ever come to this, but it's just fun to interact with them, and they get a lot of these questions answered that they don't see on TV.
The show has blown up in the last couple of years, where it just started out as a small little show on a cable network, and now it's if not one of the highest rated cable shows. How have you dealt with that celebrity, going from being a captain on a boat in the Bering Sea to you're everywhere? You're on Jay Leno, you're on Twitter, you're a big deal now.
Well, I don't know if it's a big deal, but dealing with it is not that hard, because at the end of the day, I realize, you know, who I am, and so I know that this isn't going to last forever. But at the same time, it's, you know, that keeps me grounded, and my wife, you know, she does a great job of keeping a guy grounded, let me tell you. So, you know, we try to be realistic about things. And it's been a neat experience. I mean, this is 7 years now, and the ratings are just as strong, if not stronger. And so, for me, it's flattering, you know. I mean, who would have thought? But at the same time, we've done a lot of different things. I mean, I was a voice in Cars 2. You know, they played my boat as one of the figures in that new movie that came out. There's commercial opportunities. There's all kinds of fun things like that. And so, but like I said, at the end of the day, you know, you're still going to go up there and do what you do, and that's fish for crab.
I think that's what viewers really sense is, despite the big deal, this is not, you know, the name of the show doesn't lie. It's a very dangerous job. It's a very tough job. This season, it seems the elements and personalities have taken a different, have gone different, and making it even that much more compelling and more dramatic. Was this been one of the toughest seasons for you to shoot and to deal with?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, in the beginning of the season here, for when we were fishing snow crab or the Apelio, we had 3 storms back to back. I mean, it was just, and so they can't, you know, they're up there for 3-4 months, and they shoot the program, and they've got to condense it, you know, into 20 some odd hours or whatever they have. But the reality of what they shot was, number one, they haven't seen the worst weather that we've seen. I don't even know if the cameras could shoot it, to be honest. If it's blowing 130, 150 knot gusts, and it's just a whiteout, it's really not much to see because it's blowing so hard. You don't really, they haven't really picked up the worst that we've seen yet. This year, however, was terrible. They had some incredible footage that they weren't able to get before, and so I think people see that, and then they're just amazed by that, And for us, it's not about that. This is our lifestyle. I mean, that's just that's who we are, and it made it real difficult. We were in survival mode in the beginning of this thing. I mean, the boats were icing down so bad that you spent less time fishing and more time breaking ice or trying to keep the waves off the boat so it didn't ice down as bad. And so it was a tough winter, But I mean, we've been through them before. It's just now they're caught on tape, I guess.
Exactly. You mentioned earlier when Captain Phil died, it showed the vulnerability and the realness, not only with yourself, but with the other captains and other people that are involved with the show. Does that bother you that vulnerability came out because you're portrayed as big, strapping men who aren't scared of anything? But when that happened, it seemed to hit every single person on that show just a little differently.
Well, I mean, it's hard to talk about. See, here's the thing: when we go out and we do our job, a lot of times when you lose somebody, you can't do anything about it, and you just have to keep fishing and do your thing. With Phil, it was towards the end of the season, so a lot of the guys were able to go to his funeral, to the service, and that one hit home. The fact that they filmed it, and I Discovery did a great job, in how they portrayed everything. Now you got to kind of relive that, where before you're used to just kind of bury it down and move ahead. Now you see these reruns, and so I can't watch them anymore. But and the show has gone into more of the personalities as well. It's gotten bigger, and the episodes are longer, and so it's more about the different crew members and personalities, and people feel a connection to it, for whatever reason. And so it's tough, I didn't think it would ever get to that level, but here we are. And same thing with the road show, that's people are into the personalities, they want to know. And so, never expected that.
Does that make it harder for you to live up to what your personality is? I mean, while you're...
No, of course not. I mean, it's, it's all real, I mean... For example, I get more afraid as the years go by going up there than I ever did before, and that's real, and after 7 years, people have seen change in a lot of the captains or the crews, and, the ones, their favorites, the ones that they like to follow, and so that's life, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't afraid or I suppose people have an image in their mind that, here's an example. My wife and I, we were flying out of Seattle, and she goes to buy a magazine or something. And so this lady comes up to her, and she goes, how could you be married to that man? He's so rough. And she's like, well, all you know is what you saw on television because he's you saw him at his job. Right? They don't see you when you're in your home and with your families, so it's just perception, I guess. People get to see what you're doing at work, and you got to be a little rough around the edges to do that job. Just period.
Oh yeah, it definitely takes a unique breed. I can only imagine. Final question I have is, what do you hope to get out of your experience with the Deadliest Catch when you look back 10 years from now, 15 years from now? What do you hope people remember about you and the other captains that you represent, I guess?
I mean, it is like our family. We're 4 generations of fishermen, and so my dad's legacy was the Northwestern, and that was his legacy, what he left behind. For me, I'd just like to leave behind the fact that we helped change the industry. It's been nothing but positive for the industry. In the beginning, a lot of guys were against having the show aired or filmed, and now they see that, number one, you can't buy that kind of advertising. Everybody knows what king crab is nowadays, and so our industry was in a slump, and it's gone through a lot of changes. At the same time, I think the show directly reflects, like the price of crab, the demand for crab and seafood, and people see how hard it is to go out and first you got to catch it and survive through it, and then it ends up on a plate somewhere at some restaurant. So there's a different respect for the fishermen now than that they didn't have before, and so that's what I'd like to see. Just not credit, but I'd like to just say that yeah, we helped change our industry for the better.
Excellent. Anything else you want to mention for the fans in Southern Colorado?
Well, we haven't been out there. I've never been to Colorado, so I'm looking forward to coming. And the fans that really watch the show, they know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of fun, and you can't go anywhere without being recognized nowadays. It's just the way it is. But this is just a good way to interact with them and have a good time.
Sounds good. Well, we look forward to having you here in a couple of weeks.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
You betcha. Bye now.